Hey guys. So I was just sitting here thinking about some things that used to really make me happy when I was younger, when I was a child. And one of the things that made me pretty much the happiest ever was being able to go stay with my grandma and grandpa for a week during the summer at their lake house. They had a house in town, and then they had a house that was on a lake. And for like a week every summer, my cousins and I would be able to go spend a week with them. They love being able to spend time with their grandkids, and each of us would really get a week to spend with Grandma and Papa, which is what we called them. Um, so sometimes my cousin Kelly and I would be able to spend our weeks together because we just really loved spending time with each other and with our grandparents, of course. And even when we didn't spend our weeks together, we still spent a lot of time at the lake house together because her parents actually bought a house on the lake that was a couple houses down from my grandparents' lake house. So it was just really fun to be able to go to the lake in the summer and spend time with my grandparents, and not just with my grandparents, but then also be able to see all my cousins and spend time with family members. And I just remember being so happy. I loved being around the water. I loved being in the water. I used to be called a fish by my mom and by my godmother and by other family members because I just loved swimming so, so much that they would literally find me in the water more than out of the water. And I just hated having to be told to get out of the water if I was still in the swimming mood. But anyways, I thought that I would tell you guys um, a story about when my cousin Kelly and I used to spend our summertime together at the lake. And one of the things that we used to really do, it's kind of weird to think about it now because this is just like a weird thing that kids do, and it's like those strange imaginary time things where you play pretend or whatever. But Kelly and I used to go in the water, and we used to swim out pretty deep. Not super, super deep because our grandma didn't like us going out so deep where she thought that boats could hit us, or where she thought that it was too deep where something could happen and nobody would be able to get to us, things like that. She just wanted us to be at a safe distance, if you get what I mean. So basically, Kelly and I used to go in the water, and we had like noodles and tubes, and we had like snorkels and fins and all types of different stuff that we could play with in the water and just mess around with. And we liked to go dive under the water and try to get like clams and stuff like that, and pick up different rocks and driftwood and things like that. We would just be really into, and we had a lot of fun. We really enjoyed our time together. And one of the strange things that we used to do all the time is we used to pretend that we were mermaids. And like, we used to pretend that we were caught by something, and we would just like swim around really violently and like splash our legs around in the water and just pretend that we were caught by something. And this sounds really, really weird and crazy, but I just feel like, as you grow older and as you grow up, you kind of lose the creativity and the imagination that you had when you were younger. And it just kind of makes me jealous of the younger version of me because I had so much fun and I was so creative, and I just had quite the imagination, that's for sure, because now I'm like afraid to act out of the norm. Obviously, my hairstyles are out of the norm, so to speak, for a female, but I really don't care. But I mean, to act like a mermaid in the water, if I was to do that as an adult, people would look at me like I was crazy. But I just think that it's really funny. And I was just curious to see if you guys had any funny stories of memories from when you were a child of things that you did as far as creatively or using your imagination, different games that you used to play with your relatives, brother, sister, whatever, or, just on your own. I'm just curious to see if anybody wanted to share their stories, since I shared an embarrassing story from my childhood of when my cousin Kelly and I used to pretend to be mermaids. Kelly, if you're watching this, I love you. But anyways, I just thought I would share your stories with me. I'm just curious to know. Hopefully, I'm not the only one who had an amazing childhood. And anyways, I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.